Hello, my name is Leona Watson and I am a team energizer. And I love nothing more than working with people like yourself who are just really trying so hard to get your teams and even entire companies sort of feeling back on the same page, feeling reconnected, energized, and basically looking towards really getting things done and feeling great about the achievements, because if they do, then they tend to repeat all the behaviors and the triggers and the actions that created that great result. And they kind of want more of it. So then they hit repeat and keep doing it, which means fantastic results and achievements for the business, but even more so, it feels great for the team and for all the individuals within it. Now, I normally do keynote speaking, which means I do a lot of conferences or workshops, and with L&D managers, culture, CEO level, and with the entire company. And so I kind of going to bring this sort of into really quick snippets of things that you can actually get started on tomorrow. So thanks so much for downloading this, and let's get started. Now, number one. Now, you might think this sounds a little bit naff, but let me tell you, there's gold in this. Get your team out walking together. So whether they're in different parts of the globe, it sort of doesn't really matter. They could even be on a treadmill. But the whole point is that you want to get them working together, and you want to use the neuroscience behind this. Thank you, Stanford University. Basically, if people are walking for between 7 and 13 minutes, they activate the problem-solving part of their brain. How do you make this relevant for your teams? You get people out as a whole team meeting, walking in pairs, and they've got problems to solve, things to discuss, ideas to create. And you just have some banter for the first few minutes, and then you get juicy. Now, here's what happens. Because that part of the brain is activated, the person feels actually energized by having to solve this problem or take up this challenge, which means they're then connected to the problem. Now, coming up with a solution means they're then connected to the solution. And then, of course, it's then all about getting connected to what it is that they do and the achievement. And like I was saying before, when people feel good about achieving, then they hit repeat on all the actions that created that. That's when you get people feeling really connected. So don't underestimate the power of a good walk. Get out from that behind the TV, so the computer screen and the boardrooms of Australia and everywhere around the world. Let's get people walking. Number two is all around reward. Now, I know there's a little bit of a thing going on at the moment, the great resignation and the whole talent war, which is, generally real. And a little bit of a temptation, a bit of an easy fix is to throw more money to keep the staff you already have for doing the same job. Now, I'm not here to argue that. What I would say, though, that if you are more inspired, and I'm guessing you are, to really go whatever it takes to keep your A players, the ones who really make the difference and get things done, then it's a little bit insulting almost for a really good A player to be given more money for doing the same thing. They want to achieve something. They want to be given a challenge. They want to be told they need to go out and talk to different departments to get something done. And then you reward them on that, but not necessarily just money. It could be anything around VAK. Now, if visual audio kinesthetic, I love doing anything around this, especially around rewards, because I've worked with a lot of sales teams and had my own myself. So think about that. What can actually do to keep the A players? That's who you focus on. And then, everyone else kind of comes along. The other thing as well is to look at not just what people do and reward that, but actually how they go about it. So this is where you start to reward people based on the company values. Now, if you look around and you don't see people doing too much that you think is really fabulous, then you've got one of two problems. You've either got, and with all due respect, I say this, really vanilla. And goodness knows I've come across about 2,500 sets of company mission and vision and company values, and most of them, probably about 90%, are vanilla as. You could swap them out, change the company name, and you'd never know any different. So maybe it's time to have a bit of a refresh, especially after COVID. You need more energy, more commitment, more engagement behind it. Happy to have a chat with you as well. One of the things I love doing is all around that, because I know you can get into the DNA and bone deep behaviors so people feel motivated. You don't have to motivate them. It's just innate. It's a good one. The third one then is around, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, 20 years on from when I started cheeky food events. I launched it, world's first team building cooking company. Now, I ran over 2,500 team events. I must have had 25,000 conversations over those 20 years and still am. And I asked, what is it that you want? What do you most want from, engaging myself or the whole company? And it was the same thing. We want fun. So my challenge to you is, why is corporates and all of the SMBs out there not making an absolute commitment to fun? Because if your place isn't fun, they're going to be looking to somewhere else that looks more fun than where they are, because they're also bored after COVID. They've been sitting at home looking at the same screen, the same people for a long time now. So fun is absolutely critical to get people re-engaged and all back on the same page. And it's not as difficult as you think. So let's say if you're a team manager, even the CEO, every Friday is team building ideas day. You need to commit some time in your diary for coming up with a fun thing that you do next week. Now, there's stacks of things, but here's I've got to swagger them, but here's say one where you might just give one person in the team the job of coming up with a song that comes out for the month. Now, that might be that gets played in front of every team building, every team meeting. And just when you want to get the gang together, it doesn't have to be a set time, but just really randomly. And when people hear the same music again, that's got a little bit of a vibe to it, it starts to create a little bit of a buzz. Funny, silly, sure. Is it going to get people engaged? Absolutely. I cannot tell you how effectively I use this with my own team, and also when I was in corporates as well, because I've sort of worked in both camps. So I know how hard it is, but it actually can be easy if you think it. So let's get that fun back in. Let's get everybody out there walking and get that problem solving happening. And let's think about some great rewards that are going to really reward the best behaviors and your A players for what it is that they do and how. I am here to help you. I know the fact that you're even here right now at the end of this video means you're committed. If you'd like to have a chat, you know where to find me. And also please share any ideas that you might have, or things that you've tried that have really worked, or even things that haven't. Let's all learn from each other. And so put the comments there, reach out. I'm here. Go and crank up your team. Cheers.